start it there. I'll edit this out.
Oh, thanks.
You guys have substantially more water. But
Why was that your cup of choice?
This is always the cup of choice.
It's true.
Pretty small.
Did it end up working out?
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Are we ready?
Yeah. You got
Maybe.
the little...
this doesn't work.
Little format sheet.
You gotta bite down.
Yeah, thanks. I've had a water bottle.
Would you give her a broken water bottle?
Can I see it?
Sure. Oh, I fixed it then.
It works just fine. I don't know what the problem is.
I fixed it.
Okay.
I'm already recording, by the way.
Welcome to episode 11 of Oddspeed, a podcast where two brothers and officially sometimes other people talk about any and all subjects, no matter how mundane or absurd. Everyone can thank Tyler for that wonderfully crafted opening that we have never actually used in its entirety.
I did once on episode 9, I think.
I don't believe you.
What?
Well, I'm Logan. Logan introduces himself.
Don't read that. You
Tyler is the one that's also talking, and
Hi.
we have a guest on the
Hello.
podcast. It's Lauren.
I was gonna say what's
What's
her name?
up?
This is Lauren, everybody. Hello.
So nice to meet you all.
Wow. Thrilled to finally be doing this.
Yeah, I'm thrilled that the fucking microphones work.
Yeah, it only took us 22 weeks. It took Tyler like 6 hours of figuring out how to get a third microphone to work.
That's funny
Well
that you say
worth
6
it.
hours because I have discerned that it took me about 6 hours total to figure this out.
On the money.
After telling you in the first place that I thought that this was impossible.
Tyler's just a Debbie Downer, everybody.
Watch this. We'll record the whole thing and then it won't work.
I mean,
Don't say that.
I would guess there's like a 30% chance of that happening regardless.
I'm not coming back, so this is it.
This is the one. This is the one chance.
No.
It better work.
Well,
We'll get a double for you. We'll get a voice actress.
I broke
that
my
sounds like her.
microphone. It's
What are you
falling.
doing?
It's falling. It's good.
How
Well-
are you? You've never done that,
It's because I've never touched it.
Good thing you got the
mid-
third one now, because number 2 is broken.
right? I've always had the third one. I always planned to use a third one. I just never got it out.
It's gonna work. I think it's fine now. I just can't touch it or talk into it. Okay. Well, for those of you that don't know, Lauren is my best old buddy. I've talked about her a
Aw.
couple times on here. And I think that the best place to start is just talk about how long we've known each other and how we met.
Oh, yikes.
Because
Sure?
the earliest memory that I have of Lauren, she sucked.
Whoa. Okay, you know what? Can I
That's
do
funny.
this?
Yeah.
I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Logan and I met in 6th grade.
She sucked.
And he was just a little asshole.
She sucked too.
And he actually dated my best friend.
She
Treated her
sucked, too.
horribly. She was miserable.
It's true.
Verbally and physically abusive. It was
Yeah.
just
She had
craziness.
like six
Middle School,
broken bones, I
never-
think.
6 broken bones.
Was it 7? I don't
I
remember.
don't know. She kept it a secret. She felt shame. Anyways,
What?
they dated on and off for years and years, and I always ended up in the middle with their petty middle school drama.
Yes.
I found it entertaining for a while. It got old real fast, though. So,
Just like us, because here we are, old and that's it.
a little better, maybe.
I like the rapport, but I want to say that Logan didn't hurt anyone in real life.
No, I'm not.
Continue.
I don't
No.
beat people.
The verbal
Except for
abuse
Lauren.
is up for debate, but
Verbal abuse up for debate. You guys know.
Shit.
Well,
No.
so the earliest memory I have with Lauren was actually with said girlfriend at the time, Lauren's best friend, 2 of us, and my best buddy Tanner, who I've known since I was 4.
oh no.
Great guy.
Do you want to take this one?
I can.
I think you do a
I
better
can
job.
try it.
I'll just pop in
Thank
when I
you. My
need to.
trauma adds flavor to the story.
Yes. Have you heard this story, Tyler?
I don't remember this story.
Good.
All right, everyone, buckle up.
This is what we need with guests is stories that I haven't heard.
Yes. I don't think you've heard this one.
I think I've got a couple good stories you haven't heard.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so we were about 14, I want to say at the time.
Yes. Freshman year.
Fresh into high school. And we were hanging out at my house, at my old childhood house, and down the road was a McDonald's. It's like 9 p.m. and it just got dark outside, and we decided to go just get some soda. And we walked down the street, because it's like a 5-minute walk. So we walked down the road, around the corner, and there's a little strip mall. And at the corner, there's a Mexican restaurant that I have since refused to ever step foot anywhere near
Fucking
since
Azteca.
this occasion. So we're walking. It's me, Logan, his girlfriend at the time, and his friend Tanner. And we're all just chatting, walking along. The boys are ahead of us, and his girlfriend and I are in the back.
This is ahead by like I don't know, maybe 10 feet.
Yeah, not too far.
We're not like super far ahead.
So we're just chatting, and all of a sudden, said girlfriend looks at me and says, "Hey, that woman over there, she looks drunk. Do you think she's okay?" And I look over and I see a woman, probably 25 years old, just wearing jeans and a t-shirt.
I see Tyler's eyes.
Very normal looking human being. And she's clearly intoxicated, very stumbly, hanging up against a wall, like can't even hold herself up.
Cool.
I'm like, oh, I'm sure she's
No,
fine. There's a
not
bar.
cool, my
No, there's a
friend.
bar in the Mexican restaurant. I'm sure this happens all the time. So we keep walking.
It does not.
And
happen all
about
the time.
5 or 6 seconds later, she turns and looks at me and goes, "Oh no, she's coming over here." I'm like, "No, she's not." And I turn just in time to see her speed walking in our direction.
Stop.
Like closing the gap really, really fast. And I don't even have time to process it or alert the other people with us. It's just happening. So she gets up right in my business and grabs my hand. And then she grabs our friend's hand and she's looking at us and she goes, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm just fine. I'm just taking a walk." And at this
Peachy.
point I noticed, oh, she's not drunk. She's on like bath salts, like black market bath salts.
This
There are no muscle movements in her face. She is not blinking. Oh my God. It's next level stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. And at this point, Logan and Tanner have noticed, oh, we've stopped walking. They turn around and see this woman interacting with us, just kind of observing from 10 feet away, not really intervening at all. And I'm like, "Hey, are you okay? Can I call someone for you?" And she was like, No. Yeah, I don't need you to call anyone. I said, "Okay, like, do you need any kind of help?" Like, she's just standing there holding my hand. I'm like, "Can I call the police for you?" And this sets her off. I said the P word, and it's like game changed because she drops his girlfriend's hand and then uses both hands to grasp my neck.
What?
Like she's gonna choke me out in this Mexican restaurant
you don't mind.
parking lot.
I'd love to pick it up from here.
Yeah, go for it.
Because
at this point, I kind of blacked out anyways,
Yes.
so take it from here.
This now is where, listen, I don't know if Tanner is ever going to listen to this podcast. I hope to God one day. He might find out that you're the guest and he might want to listen to this episode or something.
Because he was in love with me.
Absolutely. I agree. I think I have never in my life been more proud of one of my friends in my life. Because Tanner, if you ever hear this, I love you so much. Tanner turns around, he looks this woman dead in the eye, and he says, "Get your hands off my friend!" You know? And this, of course, did not sit well with our friend on bath salts.
I can imagine him saying that.
The most terrifying, blood-curdling scream emitted from this woman's throat. She just looks at him and just like...
Like World War Z zombie noises.
Yeah,
I
like-
was gonna say, what you've been describing is the beginning of Shaun of the Dead.
Absolutely.
You see like a crazy looking person just leaning against a wall that's like seems normal, but then
No,
they walk up and start.
Genuinely,
fucking
in
with
my
you.
head, I thought, oh, this is how the zombie apocalypse
Oh my
starts.
God.
Yeah.
She's the first one. Like,
And then we are the second,
yeah, and then
third,
we're
fourth,
number
and
2,
fifth.
3, 4. Yeah.
So Tanner, of course, get your hands off my friend. This woman screams at him, and she darts toward him, right? I step aside because I did not start anything with this woman.
Oh my God.
Tanner then, of course, oh shit, turns around, sprints toward the street because, like, that's the opposite direction of where she is.
There's nowhere else to go.
That's where he's going to go. Now, I've never been in the situation that he was in. I don't know what I would do. I don't think
I wouldn't do what he did.
I don't think I would run into the street in oncoming traffic where she would then follow. And then they ran around the lamppost in the median.
Well, the best part about this is he avoided traffic. Like,
he didn't
He
get
paused for a
hit,
second.
yeah.
He waited till there was a gap in cars and went. This woman did not take that luxury. She just said, "We're gonna go." Literally, almost got clipped by a minivan. Maybe missed by 3 inches.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, even if it hit her, she would have just gotten back.
I
up.
think broken leg and all, just
she
continued
would
to
have
chase him.
like her legs would be walking away, and then the top half of her
Yep.
body would be chasing him.
That's how I imagine it would have gone down.
Yeah. Well, see, they're currently running around the lamppost like a cartoon. Like, Tanner
Hill
could have
music
stepped
playing?
aside.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Tanner could have stepped aside, and she would have kept running
Like,
around
with like
it.
the Roadrunner music when he's like taking off real fast, that cartoon shit.
Oh, my gosh.
That's
know
what
you're
I
talking
heard
about.
in my head.
Like the sound, like the spinning noise.
Yeah.
So, meanwhile, these guys in the minivan, they stop, and they're like, "Hey, are you guys okay?" And we, Lauren especially, said, "We don't know." We have no
No,
idea.
I screamed. I don't know.
Maybe.
You didn't want to scream, no? We're being attacked by a bat salt
We were not
zombie.
being
Hey, if we
attacked.
backtrack 2 minutes, remember when I said I blacked out?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, this all came back to me like the next day.
Yes.
At that time, I had no idea what was going on.
Yes. So, in the end, Tanner got away from this woman. We sprinted toward a Boston market. Ended up getting inside. Lauren kicked off her flip-flops and everything. And so we
No.
get into the Boston market. The huge, like, for a second, the big beefy guy from behind the counter, probably the butcher, he just kind of was like, what are these kids doing in my shop? And then he noticed that we were, like, out of breath and traumatized and scared. So he comes out from behind the counter and he, like, stood in front of the door and crossed his arms. But meanwhile, this girl, gone. She evaporated.
No. She was not gone yet.
She despawned.
No.
I didn't see her.
She was not gone yet because the guy behind the counter was looking at us like, what the hell are you doing in my Boston market? And I'm like, out of breath, like, there's a woman. She's chasing us. I don't know what's going on. And he just kind of like gives a silent nod and then goes and positions himself in front of the doors. I look around him and I see her collapsed in the middle of the parking lot.
Oh,
like
I
she's
didn't know
laying.
that.
Oh yeah, she's laying on the pavement in the middle of the parking lot. And I'm like, oh my God. Looking back on this, should I have called the police? Absolutely. Did I? No. I called my dad. Close enough. So I call him. He's obviously lives 30 seconds down the street, so he gets there in less than a minute. We jump in the back of his car, like frantically explain what's going on. At this point, the woman's gone. She has disappeared from the spot she's collapsed, and we don't know where she is. He drives us back over to the Mexican restaurant, and we see her with 2 other guys who are like helping her stand and walk because she apparently can't do it by herself anymore. The battle with Tanner really took it out of her, so she's like being supported by these 2 men. My dad gets out of the car and he's like, hey, what's going on? And they're like, oh, no worries, we're taking care of it, thank you, like, go about your business kind of thing. And he's like, well, no, I'm gonna stick around, like, I've just called the police because this woman attacked my daughter and her friends. And they're like, whoa, you called the police? He's like, yeah. Boom, take off. All 3 of them, gone.
Jesus Christ.
Just in time. Like, this shit was out of a movie.
Yeah,
just
straight
in
up.
time for the cops to cut through this intersection, make an illegal left turn, and whip into the parking lot. Lights and sirens on, everything. They pull in. They're taking off behind this Mexican restaurant. They jumped a brick wall, like a 9-foot brick wall, and take off.
They picked up their friend and fucking threw her
No,
over
they
like a
did.
bag
They
of
hoisted
sand.
her over the wall, and they took off. We didn't see him again. So then we go back to my house. A cop shows up to take a report. I had like marks on my neck from where she'd been holding me.
God damn.
It was this whole thing. They kind of found out what area they had run off to, but they never found the woman. That's it.
So,
Okay, I remember hearing this story, but I don't remember hearing it in this detail.
yeah, because we've
had
we've
lots
told
of
the
time to
story
think
so many
about it.
times that
Yeah.
it now has just like it's gotten better. And when I say we have not embellished this story,
No, that is exactly how it happened.
there's nothing that we
I can't
talked
imagine
out.
it happening any other way.
Yeah, that's just how
Yeah.
Hands off my friend!
Oh,
Get
yeah.
your hands
Get your hands off my friend!
Oh my
It's
god.
the most heroic moment that man's ever had.
And then he ran
Yes.
away.
And then he ran, yeah. Which, it was a distraction tactic, so
Oh,
it
yeah, it was
worked.
very
Yeah,
good.
we were safe. We were cool.
Let me add, in this whole situation, Logan and said girlfriend contributed nothing.
Yeah, well, we were no help.
Absolutely nothing.
Oh,
No.
I can. If
I was a
it's
little
the
bit
girl
spoiled.
I'm remembering and Logan, they were dead weight the whole time. They were just watching.
Absolutely. I wish this would happen now because I feel like
It would go down a little differently.
Yeah, dude, we'd beat the shit out of this girl.
Well, that's the thing. Is
kick
I
her
think
ass.
if this happened
Who's we?
today,
Her and I.
I think if she had put her hands around my neck today, it would have been a different
You
story.
just body her.
Yeah, like you're
Shrimpy
going to the
little
ground.
heroin addict. You're adults now. You're not children anymore.
And you know what? I don't even care that the police didn't find her. Just out of pure curiosity, I would like to know what substances she was on, but
Yeah.
we'll never know.
And potentially also like where, just like out of curiosity, where could we get some of
I
those
knew you were gonna say that.
substances? Just because like I'm
Oh
curious.
my god, substances. That's awful. Where did you get that?
Oh my god, where? Where did you find them?
Man, I can't help but notice you're on drugs? Where can I get them?
Exactly. Well, this was all stemming from. That's the first like fond memory I have of you. Wait, what does the word fond mean?
No, I don't
James
think
Fond.
it means what you think it means, because that's not a fond memory for me at all.
You're right. That's the first vivid memory
There
I
you
have
go.
with you.
Lauren gets choked to death. He's like, oh,
He's
that
like,
was- that was-
yes.
I remember her well.
The fondest memory. But then it took a couple more years. We got into high school. We were in yearbook together. Lauren hated that I was in charge and that she wasn't. But then we ended up hanging out a little bit.
You know, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. We don't have time for
And
all
then
that.
we were cool.
I want the discourse.
No, we don't have time for all that.
Basically, I was one of the two editors-in-chief, and Lauren was not, and she didn't like when I told her what to do, because Lauren is also powerful like me, but in that instance, she did not have.
Clash of the Titans.
Exactly.
God versus
You have
God.
anything to say to that?
No, we're not going to talk about high school.
Cool. Okay, yeah. Anyway,
Wow.
that actually leads us into a few episodes ago. I talked about the class of 2018 group chat and how I would be the sole survivor. And because basically, you know, for those of you maybe that are tuning in for the first time or, you know, cannot...
You go over it again.
Yeah, basically, we had this 500-person group chat for everyone that was graduating with us in 2018. And this girl was the, you know, she was the one that made it. And after we graduated, I was like, hey there, I have a bet where I need to basically
Gross.
be the last one in this group chat. And she was like, oh, that's cool, whatever. Long story short, I manipulated her into sending me over ownership, and I have slowly been removing people over the years. Well, everyone, I am proud to say that I am officially the last person in the 2018 group chat.
Happy for you.
I've done it.
Congratulations.
It just feels good. You know, it feels like I've accomplished
See,
something.
let's pause on this right here. This energy, this sense of control and just like dominance that he constantly craves, let's bottle that into a high school senior running a student yearbook organization.
That won
And
a shit ton of awards.
Maybe
and got
try
me a
and relate to
scholarship.
my frustration just a
got
little
me a
bit when
scholarship.
this is the person directing your everyday life. It's a little much.
And got me a scholarship
Okay.
and won us some awards.
Okay. I'm not saying it didn't.
And it was fun.
I'm just asking people to
It's really
acknowledge
fun.
this power trip and this nice
Hey, Lauren, you
little
do
view
this.
into it.
And you couldn't say no. You couldn't say no. You just couldn't do it. Yeah, so I'm the last one in the group chat, and I'm thinking about adding people back now. So,
No one wants
Join my
that.
empire, you giant-headed motherfucker.
yes.
I'm the last one.
Well, that's kind of the story of our guest. So after this 20-minute intro, welcome, Lauren.
Thank
Happy
you.
to have you here.
Thank you so much.
That's not why you're here, though. You know, that's not why you're here.
No.
She's not here to talk about surviving the first and only zombie apocalypse.
And the first and only mass emigration of seniors in high school from a group chat.
Mass immigration.
Emigration, because they're moving out.
I don't use that word. Exodus.
Emigration.
Excommunication.
Exodus. Oh. Excommunicado.
Like Napoleon.
What?
Napoleon got he got like sent away like twice, and he kept coming back to France. I think I'm thinking.
He sounds like a rash.
Oh.
You know what I'm
Dude,
talking about?
Napoleon was like a rash.
You have a lot of experiences with rashes?
Like
Oui.
little rash. Yeah, little rashes, yeah. I got little rashes all the time.
Okay.
Logan's very rash sometimes.
Various spots.
Oh.
So, this week I'm going to be taking over the
Stupid.
news goofing
Oh, yeah.
because I actually found this out today and I did a lot of research around it.
And Logan's only doing the news goofing because I didn't want to do one, and he suggested that he do it.
Yes. So I was on, I think it was on Instagram. Got a
Good source for news.
Yeah, no, well, it's not really news. It's kind of a news goof and segue into the reason we brought you here today, right? And I think it's going to work very
good.
well.
Can't
Here's
wait
this
to hear
viral
this.
video going around right now. It originated on TikTok, but I saw it on Instagram because that's where I get all my TikToks. Don't ask. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. And it's a video where basically a guy walks up to some girls at the beach, and he basically is just like, hey there, and this is just me paraphrasing. He sounds like an asshole. Hey there, we have kids back here. You can't dress like that. Because
Oh, I've seen this.
You're too exposed. It's just not... Whatever. And at
Were
first
they
you're just
fucking
like...
naked?
No,
No.
they were wearing bikinis. Like you do at the beach.
Fucking hate.
You, specifically, Tyler, do that at the beach. And... I just like... At first, like, the video just sounds like just a guy being an asshole. He's just being a Kevin at the beach. But then...
Kevin.
Yeah,
It's
it's
the
the
male
opposite.
Karen.
Male Karen.
Oh, I haven't heard that before.
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
Karen and Kevin at the beach. Because there was a Karen in the video, but I don't care about her. She sucks.
Okay, got it.
He said specifically what the part that really got me interested in the story was, and I have some quotes from this video and from some other videos of his. There's going to be a day where you'll come face to face with God. And I said, oh, hell yes.
When do I get to meet them?
Ooh, wow. So he then
What
turns
the
it into
fuck?
this like righteous battle for like, he says specifically to them that like, you're going to come face to face with God and you'll know that like, you shouldn't be wearing this. I'm trying to protect these children's eyes. And meanwhile, like some people have analyzed the video and they think he has a boner. And I think that
Oh my God!
there's like a 40% chance he does. But
That's
I was
how
like,
all those fucking people
Is
are.
it because of the bikinis or the
He's-
power trip he's on right now?
yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
yes.
It's both of the above. I was not gonna stop at this video because then like there's this other girl that comes out that's like part of his family or whatever, and she's like, hey, I don't have anything to say about this. I just want, and I'm like, well, and
leave.
literally the girl
Why
that's
are you
recording
here?
is like, you do have something to say because you're about to say it, and she's like, no, I don't have anything to say. But also he's right. I think that you should. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh,
they were just wearing normal bikinis,
I don't have anything to say,
but
but
yeah, it's trash. So then I went in the comments because I was like, I wonder if anyone's found him. Well, surely they have.
Of course.
His name, and if you notice on our itinerary, it says Logan's rebuttal underneath the viral video. This is Logan Van Dorn's rebuttal to the viral video. His name is Logan Van Dorn.
Oh,
Van
no.
Dork.
He has two videos he's posted about the, quote, allegations about him.
Yikes.
The allegations that have been made are that he had a boner and that he was turned on. And he said, no, I was just fixing my shorts because I just got done paddleboarding. I'm like, I don't give a fuck what you were doing. He mentions 3 times in the video that he was paddleboarding, so he really
He's
needs
really
people to
proud
know
of
that.
it.
Yes. He also was just talking about, here's some more quotes. He said that he had a, quote, righteous anger. And
I thought you were going to
come
say
over
righteous
him.
boner.
Righteous boners, that's what I thought.
No, he would not admit to that.
It was not a boner.
It was a righteous boner.
It was a boner for God.
Well, he said he had a righteous anger come over him to protect and defend the eyes of these children. He specifically says that, like, he does not have any kids. He does not have a wife or anything like that. He's in a relationship.
Wait, these weren't his kids?
No, they were his nephews and nieces and something. I
Oh,
think.
God.
He didn't say that specifically, but he was trying to protect the kids. I'm like, first of all, you're at a public beach. Second of all, what's the problem with, like, you're not wearing a shirt? Like, people were going in, like, on his Instagram page, like, saying, oh, that's a cotton blend t-shirt. That's against what God says in the Bible. So I'm trying to protect the eyes of your viewers, right? Some other really great quotes from him is he said, you can't find the worth in your body and the physical never satisfies. I was like, yeah, it does. What are you talking about?
What the fuck kind of haiku was that?
No, he's like a preacher. He preaches to people,
Go
which is
fuck
fine,
yourself.
man. Religions,
Go to
whatever.
preach at the church then.
But yeah, don't preach at the beach.
Stick
Well,
your head
you can't
underwater
tell me
and preach
these
to
are
the
the only
fish.
people at the beach were wearing bikinis.
I was thinking that too.
What made him choose these women?
Because they were hot and they gave him a
Because they were
boner.
college age. There were 5 of them. One of them was sitting up, like putting on like sunscreen or some dumb shit. Whatever.
Oh, sensually, right?
Yes.
That's what got him.
He also said that he is, quote, longing for revival in the hearts of men and women.
I think he's
Oh.
longing for those women in the bikinis.
Dude, this guy cannot be saying this shit.
Because, like, the type of guy that we're talking about here is in his second video, he just kind of talked about the general problems with, like, men and women in society and, like, the lust for blah, blah, blah. And he specifically made a point to talk about how, quote, people can be born men and become female, or they can be born female and become male. And society is just really jacked up right now. And that's when I put my phone down. I said, oh,
Jacked up.
that's all I need to know about that. So the reason that we brought Lauren here today, everyone, is because
I have a vagina.
Lauren has a vagina. I don't have a vagina, if you didn't know. And also Tyler, I don't think has a
I
vagina.
would like to clarify, I don't have a vagina.
Thank you.
I also have never had a vagina.
Good clarification.
Okay,
Right?
wait, me neither.
Okay, I don't think it's. We're getting off track really fast.
So I've mentioned, I don't know if I've said it specifically on air or like if it's just been to Tyler, but I'm just so thankful to not be a woman. Not to
Yeah.
say I'm thankful to be a man, but I'm thankful that I'm not a woman.
I'm thankful that I've always been able to vote.
Exactly. Not
Oh,
even
boy.
just in the 1950s and later, or 20s or whenever it was. I don't remember.
No, I don't often think about that, but I agree with you.
Just
Shout
women.
out to suffrage.
Dude.
Not just suffrage, Lauren. We're talking about
Oh,
the
yeah, I was back
genders.
to I was off suffrage.
Well, he
I
got
wanted
me
to make a very
thinking about
brief
voting
joke.
and, you know.
Voting's dope. Vote in every
Which
Oh.
amendment was it, Logan?
You didn't vote for a long
It's
time, and you
not-
said
You
my
fucking
vote doesn't
wa-
do anything.
Listen,
I don't need to vote.
I've had an epiphany and I voted recently.
Interesting.
So that's why I said voting's dope. Everyone
For
should
the
vote.
women.
'Cause now
Logan.
I'm just seeing like all. Well, this is how we get into it, right?
What amendment is it?
What a anemone. sea anemone.
Which sea anemone is the women's suffrage one?
Oh, fuck.
Fifth.
No, that was
No, because I said.
Oh,
19th
you don't
and it
even
wasn't.
know.
fifth was the one that I said the first time that I'd made up.
I don't know, the First Amendment.
That's freedom
Oh,
of
yikes.
speech that lets us make this podcast.
Anyway, so let's just disregard
The
that.
19th Amendment.
It is
again.
the 19th?
Yeah.
No.
Why did you say the
You
Fifth
didn't
Amendment?
say 19.
I did. I just said it. First I said 19th, but that was a joke.
I didn't hear you say that.
I just said that.
Oh.
Play it back.
No.
We can't play it back.
Whatever.
The
So
program's fucked up.
I am thankful to not be a woman because, let me make sure that this is on the record, women have it far more difficult than men do, period.
Absolutely.
Period.
Shut up.
Yes.
Logan.
Literally, period. I didn't even mean it until you said shut up, Logan. I was like, that's step one. I will deal with my strange erections that go viral on
Viral?
TikTok. No, apparently, I don't know. Maybe he had a boner. Maybe he didn't. I'm talking about Logan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, me, I've never had a viral
If I'm
erection.
standing on the beach in my swim trunks with a boner, I'm not going to be yelling at women while somebody's
No, I'm
recording.
gonna walk
No,
the fuck
the
back
yelling
into the
comes
water.
before the boner.
Oh,
Right, my bad.
I see, yes.
So it will never happen then.
Fair.
Oh, because Tyler doesn't yell, just in general.
Or get boners.
I don't
ever.
yell at random strangers on
Fine.
the beach
See,
about what they're wearing.
I will take my weird
psycho.
math class boner, which any men listening to this know that it's a thing.
It's a real shame.
It sucks, and it's
quite
I'm not,
embarrassing.
I'm not
What the
saying
hell?
it doesn't suck, but I would rather that than bleeding from my holes
Ew.
every month.
Multiple.
All right, I've had enough of you talking
Hole,
about
one
it.
hole.
I think,
Do we bring Lauren
You
on
know
so
what?
that you could describe being a woman?
I gotta
to
be
her?
honest, hearing him talk about bleeding holes is a lot worse than actually getting your period. I think
Fine.
it's way worse. No, I mean, honestly, in the grand scheme of things, the difficulties that are associated with being a woman, having a period is like number 78.
No, I know.
On that
Isn't that
list.
wild? That just happened.
I think that's one that people talk about the most, but I think it is very far from being the worst.
If that's 70, I think 77 is the luxury tax on like period products.
Oh,
feminine
no, yeah.
products. Like what are they doing?
Or-
They actually just started providing those for free at my school
Really?
Sick.
this year.
Congratulations, Lawrence School.
Yeah. I don't use them because they're shit.
I mean,
but
at least
That's a
there
start.
are people that like can't afford them.
it's a step in the right direction,
Are
I
they
guess.
just
Shouldn't
cotton
afford them.
balls on a string?
No, they're pretty much like
Gross.
yeah. It's
Ugh.
yeah, not
It's like
pretty.
scratchy 2-ply work toilet paper,
Ooh,
but like for your vagina.
In a
Well,
way.
I guess also for your vagina then.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are some other some other
If
problems?
we can go the rest of this podcast without saying the word vagina, I will be happy.
Should I say pussy instead?
No.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Fine.
I don't think we've ever said vagina on this, and you said it like 50
She
times.
said
already.
it first.
Am I not allowed to say it? I have one.
Yeah. It's like being black and saying the N-word.
Is it though?
See, notice how we're saying vagina, but you just said the N word.
I'm not
think-
black.
Then why don't you say the V word?
The V word? I don't
What?
want to.
Wait. Okay. More. Really, there's like there's two kind of points, or I guess two categories.
I bumped the mic.
Is you've got the anatomical difficulties, right? But then you also have the societal difficulties, like Logan Van Dorn yelling at you for not covering up. Like, what about he was
Okay.
wearing swim trunks, but what about your shirt? That's distracting to my daughter over here.
Your daughter's kind of messed up, don't you think?
I mean, fine. He also was not very attractive.
No,
but
I
I'm saying,
don't-
what if he had a six pack? You know, and he had some nice muscles, and his arms were kind
okay,
of big,
see,
he was
I might get some
tan.
shit for this, but
We get shit for every episode.
okay, good.
You're fine.
Good. There's a lot of people who argue, oh, well, like, why shouldn't I be able to be topless in public? Like, men are topless in public all the time. And I understand where that argument is going, but I think that as a society, we're a long way from that being
Yeah.
acceptable. Because,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, sorry, it sucks that your breasts have been sexualized and you can't walk around without a shirt on.
Mm-hmm.
We can maybe work towards that not being the case, but can you just head out to your local Meijer without a shirt on today? No, you can't.
Yeah, I don't think that's step one.
No,
I'd have
that is
to
not
agree.
step one. So I understand that frustration, but it's the idea that even not being topless, wearing a tank top or whatever you have on, you're going to be sexualized regardless.
Yes.
Like, I literally had this conversation with a friend of mine this morning. She lives in Chicago, and there's a lot of interesting people in Chicago,
Sure
as
is.
there
Yeah.
are with any major city, and she was just walking to the corner. I think she was getting a coffee or a bagel or something, going to the store, and she got cornered by a man and basically harassed because she was a woman and he found her attractive, or she just happened to be a woman and he was interested. She's wearing jeans and a t-shirt. That's it. And she's
She
just
wasn't
walking
even
to
wearing
the corner store.
nothing?
It's not like she's wearing some like weird lingerie piece and she's walking around in public and drawing attention. She's wearing normal everyday clothes.
The problem, though, too, is even if she was,
It doesn't give you the right
why
to walk
can
up
you
to
just
her.
walk
No.
up to someone and like
No.
catcalling and shit like that?
Oh,
It's disgusting, and I just, first of all, would never have the audacity myself, even if I wanted to. But like, I just can't believe that it's something that that runs through somebody's head. Like, oh, I should yell out to that girl or like whistle.
There's
or
like
whatever they do.
There's it running through your head, and then there's not having the like lock and key in your brain stopping you from doing it. How do you not have like impulse control from just bothering people on the street in general? Why the fuck are you doing
well, I
this
think
to
the people who do it on a regular basis, it's not a matter of impulse. It's a matter of that's their goal.
What the fuck?
They're going to do anything they can to make you
I don't
uncomfortable.
get it. It makes my fucking skin crawl.
I got catcalled for the first time. I was like 12 years old.
Ooh, shit.
I mean, I was a hot 12-year-old, but
I believe it. No,
still.
yeah.
No, I was downtown Detroit going to a baseball game, and some guys on the street selling tickets to the game were like, "Oh, nice shorts." I'm like, I'm 12.
I'm 12 years
I'm
old.
12 years old. Granted, I may not have looked like I was 12 when I was 12, but it doesn't matter.
No.
I was with my family.
Also that.
I wish someone had a picture of my father's face because he was with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'd like to see your dad kick their ass.
I'd like to see my dad kick anyone's ass.
That'd be funny. Yeah, good point.
Not me.
Maybe Logan.
Honestly.
I imagine him
maybe.
grabbing those two idiots that were puppeteering the crackhead chick and just like grabbing them both by the neck and like shaking them.
Yeah.
No, exactly.
Okay. You make it sound like my dad's like 7'5". Like he's not.
That's how I imagine him.
He-
I mean,
feel like
He's taller
he is,
than
though.
I am.
his presence makes it feel that way sometimes.
Absolutely.
But yeah.
Nah, he's cool.
It just yeah, plus on top of that, like there's certain, I think the male gaze, I've taken enough film classes to just like really be able to identify it,
Oh yeah.
and it's just like everywhere. Tyler, you're giving me a look. Do you know what I mean by that? The male gaze.
I'm like
not
trying
like
to
GAYS, GAZE.
I know what word you're saying.
The way that movies and television advertisements and everything is shot, like cinematography wise,
Yeah.
is in from the eyes of a male. That's then when you come out with like movies like Lady Bird, where that's different. Lady Bird pops in my brain because that's the movie we watched in that class to kind of like subvert that. It's interesting to watch a movie that is shot from either a completely like normal, unbiased perspective or from a female.
Wasn't that was a
perspective.
female director, wasn't
Yes.
it? Yeah.
And that's typically where
That's
that's
the
going to come
difference.
in. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it just, or like, for instance, like, not necessarily women related, but just the opposite of what is standard, right? Like Lil Nas X's Industry Baby video. Did you watch that?
No.
Did you watch that?
No.
Long story short, Lil Nas X is gay, right? And
Yes.
there's a
Yes.
whole lot of naked
He
men.
is a male gaze.
Oh, I've seen.
Yes. There's
No,
a-
I've seen like clips from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of naked men dancing in that video, and like the people that have a problem with it are either uncomfortable in their sexuality or uncomfortable that they're losing the grip on, I mean, minorities. Just period. That's just how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting to see how things are changing because it's got to go.
This is the future liberals want, Logan.
Yeah.
I also
Every man that gets catcalled gets the shit kicked out of him in the street. He gets his dick twisted.
Well, that's no. Honestly, that's my whole thing. Is not to say that like it is at all women's fault because it's not.
No.
But I think we, as a gender, have a big say in how this goes down. Start calling them back. Don't ignore them. I think 99% of the time, those douchebags on the street who are screaming whatever they want at you, if you stopped and turned around and said, "What'd you say?" or "Hey, shut up,"
Yeah, I guess
Or
usually you
they're
try
gonna
to
shut down.
ignore
They're
them.
gonna
Yeah.
no, don't ignore them.
Yeah.
They want attention, fine. Give them attention and shut them down because 99% of them will piss their pants if you
Fuck
turn
yeah.
around and look at them in the eye and say, "What? What'd
I
you
love
say?"
that. Yes.
They will shit in the street.
Please fucking do
So
that.
start doing that. Why not?
calling all ladies. Make them shit in the street.
Yeah, no, do it. And, like, sure, there's a safety aspect involved where if you are alone or in an unsafe situation or you think that they may be a dangerous person, no, I don't encourage that because you're going to create a problem for yourself. But if you're in a situation where you can do that, then do it. Why not?
Yeah, I don't know, Lauren. I asked you to create a list. I don't really know
do
how
have
that
a
went,
list.
but please continue to read from that list because that's the thoughts that I have, other than maybe responses to your list.
Let me pull it up here.
Lauren comes prepared. So if you're ever going to be
It's
a guest
not a super long list, but it's a couple things.
Anyone that's about to be a guest on this podcast, you better come prepared as Lauren, or you're fired.
Dude, Marty has a list.
Marty.
It's not about being
had
a
a
woman,
list.
though. Marty's not a woman.
Well, I don't know how much sense that would make. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. That's fine.
Imagine. He just tries to copy her.
He's like, listen, guys, vaginas.
It's just his hot takes on what I've said about being a woman.
You can't say that.
I would honestly pee my pants if Marty got on here and just started talking about being a woman, because I don't know if that would ever happen.
Cannot imagine.
I could pay him $500,000, and I don't think he'd do it. I mean that, but I also wish I had $500,000. Anyway, let's hear the list.
Okay.
Let's get it.
Okay. One of the things I wrote down was concerts, which I feel like, especially for you, Logan, is going to make a whole lot of sense because you're a concert guy. I can say wholeheartedly with the somewhere between 30 and 40 concerts I've been to in my life, at least 25 of those I have had some experience where I've either gotten assaulted or harassed or just generally groped by someone I couldn't even see in a crowd of people. And it just ruins the whole experience.
To be fair, about 6 of those times were me.
Shut
and
up.
I never told Just kidding, guys. I don't know.
No, seriously. Like, from age, 13 and on. Because when I was in, middle school and early high school, I had some friends who were all into, the punk music and, pop rock, whatever. Sleeping with sirens. No. What? No, Sleeping with Sirens, Neck Deep, those kind of bands. And I went to a lot of just, small pop-up shows. And you got to meet a really cool group of people, but also some creeps. Ugh. And I remember being 13 years old, and I went to a venue at Eastern Michigan, I think. And we were seeing Sleeping with Sirens, and I can't remember who opened for them. But there was a guy who was standing behind me for almost the entire show. He was probably 20 or 25. I was 13. The whole time, he was bumping up against the back of me quite intentionally, and it got to a point where we had to ask a security guard if he could let us out the front and move us to a different area, and we did. We had to move. At 13 years old, I was that uncomfortable by someone who was at least probably double my age. And it's it's enough to ruin the whole night. 'Cause that's the last thing I remember from the show. That's it. I don't remember what my favorite song was, what t-shirt I bought. The whole thing just becomes uncomfortable. And it sucks. And, at 13, that's a different story. If it happened to me now, yeah, I'd be pissed off for 20 minutes, but, it's not going to ruin my day. And that's kind of sad, because that kind of shit happens a lot.
That means you're jaded.
No, yeah, I'm honestly desensitized,
fucking
because it happens enough that you're like, oh, well, there's another one. Add it to the list. So, that's kind of just a thing that happens in public, though. Concerts are just a great example, because there's a lot of people in one area, but...
I've never even, considered that.
I've never thought of that in my life.
That's another thing is as a male, yes, okay, fine, you get catcalled or whatever. I didn't even think about concerts. It makes so much sense because you're also
packed
close
in with people and they can do whatever they want,
easy.
And odds are you won't be able to point out who it was either.
Or if you will, you're not gonna do something about it.
Yeah, because I'm a little
so many people
preoccupied. Yeah, no, and that's the thing that sucks too. Is it's half the time it happens, you turn around, and you're like, what the fuck was that? You have no idea who just touched you because there's 40 people packed in behind you. You don't know who it was. And they're not going to look at you either because their whole goal was to not have you know it was them anyways. All the time.
Thanks. Yeah, it's a no for me.
So, that sucks. And honestly, we've got a concert coming up in a couple weeks and we're in a mosh pit. And I haven't been in a pit in a couple years.
You let me know and I will beat the shit out of someone. Or I will get the shit beat out of me by someone else. Oh,
when you do it.
Who did that?
Take your hand off my friend.
3 hits. Someone hitting you. And then them hitting me and me hitting the floor.
Ooh.
That's the 3 hits, man.
But I have high hopes. Maybe that won't happen.
Yeah, maybe it's just a good enough group of people that,
you'd like to think that.
Yeah, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Anyways, but okay, this ties into the whole concert thing too. Because in those venues, when you're packed in with a bunch of people, it's going to get hot. So you're probably going to be wearing a tank top or some sort of shirt like that, or shorts or whatever have you. That's not an invitation for that kind of stuff to be okay. Because even at 13, I was probably wearing a tank top. Mm-hmm. That should not get your attention.
Well, it's the same thing for like the guy at the beach.
Right.
Like, why did you? The
That's
fact
not
that you
an
felt the
invitation.
need to say something means that you thought about it. Mm-hmm. He says like, oh, the body doesn't ever satisfy or whatever the fuck. Like, who said that they put that on for you? Because I bet they didn't.
No,
They
exactly.
did not put it on for this middle-aged fucking Christian.
It's a fucking swimsuit.
Well, no, I think
Literally,
yeah.
they're fucking sunbathing, tanning, or whatever you want to call it.
Well, you have to constantly be aware of what you're putting on and where you're going and who you might interact with.
Ridiculous.
Whether it's a concert, the beach, the grocery store, whatever you have on, you have to put a second thought into it.
You know what I've never done one time?
Thought about it.
Thought about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, t-shirt, shorts, bop, boop, beep.
No,
That's it.
every single
Store.
time a woman walks out the door, in some way or another, there's a thought in the back of her head, a little voice saying, okay, what am I wearing? Who am I going to run into? What issues could this create for me? Even if they're wearing like a pair of t-shirt or a t-shirt and a pair of pants, walking down the street, that's all it could take. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Now, see, I do have to be the hottest person in the grocery store at 10:45 at night. Mm-hmm. That's just me. I think there might be some other people that can relate to that, but not to the extent of like what y'all got to do. So,
Yeah.
Tyler, you're looking at me, and I know you think
Every
about
comment you make, I just glare at you.
it. I know you thought about it.
You could be wearing
I
a
could run
fucking
into a
winter
cutie.
coat and somebody will harass you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's the other fucking
What's under
thing.
that?
They didn't invent
Another
harassment
coat!
when
It's cold
like,
out.
whatever the fuck they do, whatever age they would do, they were wearing giant dresses with cages under them, and they wouldn't. You show your fucking
Cages.
ankle and you get harassed. They've
Oh,
always
yeah.
been fucking doing that.
Well, it got to a point where it's like, yeah, modesty has a different definition.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really matter. You can be as modest as you want, and there are still people who will find excuses to call you
Yeah.
out or say whatever they want to say to harass you in some way. It happens. And like, I don't want to say that's just, oh, that's how it is. But like, in a way, that's how it is. There's people who have to prepare their children, like these young girls, to enter a world where that's what they're going to have to expect when they go in public.
I don't know if you were going to talk about this, but that thought process gets recycled through society with the school dress codes.
Oh.
Any fucking time.
I didn't even write down school, but holy
Right?
shit.
I've never seen that happen. Honestly, at
You ever
school.
saw someone get dress
I've
coded?
never seen a girl or a guy get dress coded.
Tyler, let me tell you something. Because we went to the same middle school.
Yeah.
Our assistant principal, you know who I'm talking about.
Wait, was it a woman?
Yep.
That's the one I'm thinking of?
Oh, yeah, she went to jail. Yeah,
Yeah, that one,
Yeah,
yeah.
that one. Yeah, I got dress coded more times than I can count on both my hands.
My next question.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And you know
What the fuck?
Here's the ironic part of it, is we live in a society that has built it to almost be impossible to avoid these types of situations.
Yeah.
So I would get dress coded specifically for wearing leggings, because our policy was that you could not wear leggings unless you had a shirt that covered your ass. And I didn't have that because who does? That's not how t-shirts work.
Extra large.
So
fucking
I
extra
went the
long.
first, like, I'd say 1.5 to 2 years of middle school not wearing leggings because I just was able to avoid it. I had other clothes that worked. Well, getting into like 8th grade, I noticed a lot of the girls were wearing them and nothing was getting said about it. Specifically, there's like 3 or 4 girls I remember from our middle school class who would wear their like little, like Victoria's Secret pink, you know, they had like the quarter zips.
Yes.
Everyone wore those. So they'd wear those and the Victoria's Secret leggings. Like that was a staple outfit for,
I recall this.
Yeah, for like the average
Yeah.
13-year-old girl. So it wasn't really my style. I didn't have that exact outfit, but the leggings were comfortable. And you know, it's a long day at school. You're sitting in uncomfortable desks. You want to wear clothes that are comfortable.
Fucking yeah, when you're eating your cheeseburgers and chocolate milk at 10:30,
Oh, God.
you gotta be comfy for that.
So I was like, okay, I've got those leggings at home. Why not? They get to wear them. I will too. And to be very blunt, these were girls who looked like they were 10. When I was 13, I looked like I was 17. So it's a little bit of a different story. I wore leggings and even just a sweatshirt. Like literally a oversized sweatshirt from a soccer tournament. I distinctly remember the first day this happened to me. I was wearing sandals, leggings, and this sweatshirt. I walk in the front door. I didn't even make it to first hour. walking down the hallway, and this assistant principal pulls me aside and she says, "What are you wearing?"
What a bitch.
And I was like,
No, for real.
"Oh, I don't know, it's just comfy, you know, it's a Monday morning. I'm just trying to be comfortable, and I also have soccer practice after, so I'm not trying to have a whole bunch of clothes to have to change out of. I'm just being casual about it." And she goes, "Well, you know that's against the dress code." As we're having this conversation, which she chose to have in the middle of the hallway, by the way, so all these people I know are getting to walk around and listen to this conversation happen, at least half a dozen girls walk by wearing nearly the same outfit. And I'm like, "Are you kidding?" And she's like, "I'm going to have to ask you to step in the office." So I have to go in the office, have to call one of my parents out of work so that they can go to my house, grab a pair of jeans, and bring them to the school. Here's the part that really gets me. The jeans they bring me are just as tight, just as revealing as any pair of leggings, because that's how they're built. You go to the junior section at Kohl's or wherever, they're skinny jeans. That's what they look like. So I change out of the leggings, put on the jeans, walk out. She looks me up and down and goes, "That's much better.
Fuck
Enjoy
you.
the rest of your day." Sends me off to my first hour, 45 minutes late, miss whatever was happening in class. Pissed me off. So a couple weeks go by, happens again. Because I see these girls wearing it. I'm like, no one's getting in trouble for it. I can do it too. So I do it, get called out again. Do it, get called again. Like, this must have been time number 6 or 7 it happened, and I lost it. I, like, literally broke down in the office, and I started screaming at one of the secretaries. Feel bad about it looking back on it, because it wasn't her fault. But I was just so sick of it. And I was like, I can't keep doing this. Also, we're a one income household. I don't have money to be going out and buying new clothes in a wardrobe. Like, these are the clothes I have to wear. So it got really frustrating. My mom felt really bad, and she was like, "Okay, well, let's try and fix it." So we go to the store. We buy, it essentially was like a kimono type thing, just like really thin material, very flowy, but it was a shirt and it was long, so I put it on over whatever just like plain t-shirt I had on, and it covered my butt.
Cool.
So I wore it to school. Didn't work. I get pulled aside in the hallway and she's like, "What are you wearing?" And I instantly was like, no, it's long enough, it's covering what it needs to cover.
Please let me go to fucking
I was like,
class.
"There's nothing wrong with this." And she's like, "Oh, it's not long enough in the front." I'm like,
What?
The front?
And this is the only, by the way, from what it sounds like, she's the only fucking person saying anything about it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure it was in her job description, but at the same time,
fuck you.
This woman had a very intense bias towards her favorite group of students.
I remember. She was nasty.
There's a girl specifically I remember. Let's call her Mary, because I don't think we went to school with a Mary. And Mary is this tiny little thing, super chipper, sucks up to all the teachers, just the worst kind of person. And she, as I'm having this conversation with our assistant principal, walks by and says, "Good morning." And she's like, "Oh, hello, Mary." She keeps walking. I'm like, that bitch is wearing leggings. Are you kidding? So once again, had to call my parents, get a new outfit brought up because it didn't cover me in the front. This was like an ongoing thing for the whole year. Thank God it wasn't really an issue in high school. I feel like our high school was fairly lenient
They were a lot better about it.
dress coding, but
Yeah.
They realized it was trash to fucking...
Yeah,
If you're
like,
gonna
if
police
you were-
someone, police everybody.
well, that's the problem. Is I'm like, if you want to really be serious about this rule, make it universal, because otherwise it's just bullshit. So I didn't have a lot of horrible experiences with it in high school. I've heard girls who have had experiences with it, but luckily it stopped for me in middle school. But it was a large inconvenience for a very long time.
I could never. Then there's like guys walking around with t-shirts with guns on them and dead people.
Oh yeah.
Not getting dress coded.
Well, where I was going with that is you make a big deal about that every single time it happens, and everybody that sees it, it gets into their brain, into developing kids' brains, that's like
there's something wrong with it.
There's supposed to be something wrong with that.
Yeah.
And that turns them into people that believe the same fucking
Logan Van
thing.
Dorns, bro.
Into the Van
Well, yeah,
Dorns.
these are like 11-year-olds and 12-year-olds walking around seeing these girls getting pulled out of class for these reasons. So they're like,
ridiculous.
oh, there must be some innate reason that's happening. Like, that is wrong. So then that just builds up in their brain, and all of a sudden they're full-grown men catcalling women on the street because they can see the upper part of their thighs.
It's making men nasty, and it makes women shameful.
And then they
Yes.
blame it on women.
Well, and I
for
think
some reason.
Yeah, it's
that's
women's fault.
what
Yeah.
really
The woman that
bothers me
pulled her
about it
aside.
deep down is it was a woman telling me that what I was wearing wasn't appropriate for a school environment. Yet she's the one who broke into students' houses to buy or to steal their parents' drugs and went to jail.
Called out.
But I'm the bad person because I wore leggings.
It's like most of the stories I hear about that, it's usually like male teachers. They're like,
oh
you,
yeah,
you
like,
shouldn't wear
you can't
that.
have your shoulders out, whatever. No. This was a woman. And she was never comforting about any of it. She was never apologetic about it. It was always stern. It was always rude. It was always just nasty. Honestly,
Yeah.
she was nasty about it every time.
I
She
never
always
heard-
made me
ugh.
feel bad, like I did something wrong and I was hurting other people for
Yeah.
it. Sorry, their pants.
She was horrible.
Sorry, their pants.
I
Like what?
Yes. Well, as a hopefully more of a high note, right?
Okay.
I actually encountered somebody very comfortable in their own skin a few days ago. And Lauren, I called you about this. So you've heard the story.
Speak up.
Tyler.
I
So I don't have to
remember
edit
this.
your voice.
Tyler, I have not told you this. I've been saving it for today.
What happened?
And it just comes full circle, unfortunately, but also very fortunately because it was very funny. And
Was
I
it
was
a preacher wearing yoga pants?
Ooh.
no, it was not someone wearing yoga
I'm
pants.
sorry, go ahead.
I was driving down.
Oh my god. Now I remember.
Driving down the road, going to Target, whatever, just like the way it goes. And I was stopped at a red light. I was the second car back from this red light. The car in front of me was, I believe, a Jeep. Upon thought, I told you it was a Jeep Compass, Lauren. I'm pretty sure it's a Jeep Renegade. And next to the Jeep Renegade it was not a Renegade. I think it was a Compass.
I don't know that it matters.
Jeep Compass, fine. To the left of the Jeep Compass
Wrong details.
was a Land Rover. It was like a Range Rover.
Yeah.
Right? Very expensive car. It looked nice, very pretty. And I'm just sitting there listening to my probably Lord Huron, waiting for the light to turn green. And then, I can't decide if it was to my dismay or to my delight or neither or both. It was weird. A girl gets out of in the middle of the street, girl gets out of the Jeep wearing nothing but a thong. Or almost a thong. It's very, very skimpy underwear that Logan Van Dorn would not appreciate. And I just kind of stopped and I was just confused. And she did a little dance in the middle of the street for like 4 seconds. And then she got into the Land Rover.
What?
She got into a different car than she got out of. So listen, I was not like, I just was wondering what was going on over there.
I feel like when you're in
You know
that
what I mean?
setting, you're just like, huh?
Yeah. No, because
I think I would have kind of like done the whole like rub your eyes like, was that real?
Yeah, like I talked
Am
to
I
my other friend
asleep right
about it. I talked to another friend of mine about it, and she was just like, "Oh, like, what were you like?" I don't remember exactly how she asked, but she basically was like, "Were you turned on?" I was like, "No." It was weird as fuck.
I got my eyes
So
on the road,
strange.
dude.
Yeah, I was just like
More
confused.
concerned than
And I was like, "Is
anything.
she
What is
okay?
happening?"
Is she gonna put some clothes on? Does she have clothes to put on?
Whose car is that?
Yeah, like what was she thinking? I
What
was
the
just
hell?
confused. So
She was at a party.
yeah,
Well, like, it sucks, but like, it's sad, honestly. But my gut reaction seeing something like that would be, okay, is she doing this on her own accord, or is she under the influence of something?
Yeah.
Was she drugged by someone in one of those cars? Like, and which may not have been the case. She may have been perfectly sober or doing this because whatever reasons for she wanted to.
yeah.
But my gut says otherwise, and
Is
that's
she
kind of
gonna
sad
go
that
chase
that's
someone down in the middle
Yeah.
of an Azteca parking lot and tell a story for 10 years? Maybe, dude. Maybe. So yeah, that's what happened to me last week.
Yeah, that's very concerning.
It was pretty dope. I
You
think
should have
it's-
followed them.
See,
That's
that's
what
what
I said.
everyone has told me, and I don't know. I had to go to Target, man. I was in the middle of something.
sounds really pressing.
Listen, I did not want to
See,
know.
this
Well,
is-
Logan, I hope that girl's okay.
Lauren, this is the guy that didn't do anything. when the chick
I
attacked
know.
you.
See,
I was like, I'm not
Nothing's
going to be a hero
changed.
today. I'm not the hero today.
Nothing's changed.
I got to go
I
to
think
Target.
she was fine. She looked excited.
Well, I'm
to
glad
be
you think she's
doing her-
fine. I'm sorry. I'll stop.
She just looked like she was having a good time. Okay, you know what that girl in the Azteca parking lot didn't look like?
A good time.
She did not look like she was having a good time, man. I think that's
Okay, that came out wrong. I'm not saying she didn't look like a good time.
That's another thing.
I'm gonna stop.
Her age, she could have been 18 or 19, but she also could have been 16 or 17. Forgot to mention that. She could have been underage. And I don't know.
Tell.
I didn't want to ask.
Well, yeah, right.
Want to find out. I was just like, ooh.
Well, see, that's another reason I bring up that it's concerning, where I'm like, okay, who is she with?
Yes.
Where this kind of thing is allowed to go down.
Yeah.
Like, who's driving those cars?
Yes. Now, to be fair, I don't know if she was in her underwear or if she was in a bikini bottom. So that's like,
either
maybe
way.
they. I mean, still, yeah, she was not wearing a top, so it's different. But there might have been like in the middle of like, I don't know, she was at a friend's house, like in a fucking hot tub and going to somewhere. I don't know. And they were both going somewhere, and she wanted to switch cars. I don't know. I think the optimist in me likes to think that there was a reasonable explanation, but the realist in me.
I was about to say, the woman in me likes to think that she was in a horrifying situation.
Not. And she's going to regret that either in the morning or in a week or in a month or in a year.
I feel like if somebody was holding her, they wouldn't have allowed her to do that in the middle of the street.
Not even that someone was holding her.
I mean,
but
yeah.
Just that maybe she was under the influence or was young enough that she didn't really know better.
Well,
right.
yeah, that's my thing, is the age is the biggest red flag, where I'm like, even if she's willing to be doing whatever's going on, there is someone taking advantage of that situation somewhere.
Unless there
somewhere
were no
involved.
Men involved. And it was just
Right, if there's another
14
14-year-old driving the Land Rover,
Impossible.
I'm cool with demonizing men, but men don't have to be involved for the girl to be in trouble.
I mean, yeah.
No, that is fair.
Yeah.
That's fine.
They don't.
Fine.
I've also just been conditioned over the last 21 years to believe that it most likely is, but
it's usually
that's
men.
fair.
I'm not going to disagree with that, dude.
Well, on that note, Lauren, you have 60 seconds for Pop Culture Corner. Go.
Me?
Yes, go.
Oh my god. Okay. Oh shit. What movie did I just watch? Okay. I have a movie. On Netflix. It's called The Half of It.
Okay.
I believe it is a Netflix original. It was really good. I just rewatched it. I watched it for the first time like 6 months ago. I rewatched it last week. It is awesome. It has a lot of unknown actors, which normally is not my kind of thing, but it was a great movie. Music. I've been listening to a lot of Car Seat Headrest. Drunk Driver's Killer Whales is my favorite song. That album is awesome. Listen to the new Billie Eilish album because it's really cool.
The new what?
The Billie Eilish album. Billie Eilish.
You still have 20 seconds. I'm just...
Oh, why were you making that face then?
He does that to me, too.
I didn't have to talk that fast.
Correct, you did not.
Okay, well, that's all I have, because you made me go through it too quick. I also wasn't prepared.
I know. We didn't tell Lauren she was doing this. I don't know if she... I'm surprised you didn't expect it. We always do Pop Culture Corner.
I thought you were going to do it.
Pop Culture
I am
Corner.
going to do it, but Tyler and I decided unanimously that you were going to go first.
I thought it would be funny.
That's rude.
And
You
it was
suggested
fun.
it. It wasn't unanimous.
Do you
I
not
was
see how
like,
prepared
sure.
I came, and then you're just going to throw something at
Yeah.
me?
Yeah, we got we got through one thing that you wanted to talk about.
That's fine.
We'll have you back.
We're going to have you back.
Oh, that's fine.
No.
Yeah.
Tyler, 60 seconds, go.
Okay, I just finished watching Clickbait on Netflix.
Faster.
It is a drama about this guy basically gets kidnapped, and this YouTube video shows up of him holding a sign that says "I abuse women," and then he has to put the sign down and picks up a different one that says "At 5 million views, I die." The show is basically about the police and his family and stuff, people trying to figure out what happened to him, trying to save him, trying to figure out if the sign is true. Pretty much, it is a really great emotional roller coaster.
Clickbait. Oh, that makes so much sense.
It is a crazy show. Every time I thought something was going to happen, something else happened. The actors are great. It's a very good drama.
Holy shit. That's right up my fucking alley.
You would love this show.
Oh.
I highly recommend it to both of you and everybody listening.
Oh.
It is a great show.
Thank you for sharing.
What do I have left?
You said Clickbait, and I instantly thought of the Adam Sandler movie with the remote, and I realized that's Click.
Very different, very different. Steve Buscemi, not in this.
Damn.
Oh, well then why would I watch it? Someone's got to time me.
Hang on.
Let's go. Get me
Not
timed. Tyler's in the middle.
Go!
Okay, so as you know, I'm on a hunt to watch every movie ever made. And a couple that stood out to me recently is I watched the Coen brothers Burn After Reading. It's a comedy, great cast. Basically, a bunch of idiots find some CIA documents, and I'll leave it at that. Brad Pitt is the best part of that movie. Speaking of Brad Pitt, I also watched a movie called Fury. It's an army movie. World War II. It's one of the last tanks over German lines, trying to kind of make the last push to end the war. Very great. I also really like war movies, so you have to like that. And finally, I watched one called Possum that was just like really upsetting, and it's about a disgraced puppeteer that's like middle-aged, but the puppet's terrifying, and it's a metaphor for trauma. In terms of music, I've been listening to Glass Animal's new song called I Don't Want to Talk, I Just Want to Dance. Came out as of yesterday. But,
Good song.
Very great song. I've also been listening to more Lord Huron. What else has come out? Oh my god, and Scarecrow by My Chemical...
Scarecrow by My Chemical Romance is a good song.
Thanks for finishing me off.
It's a good album, actually.
Yeah. That's
Danger Days.
That's the show, everybody. Tyler, we didn't talk about who's going to outro. Do you just want me to because I have this thing?
You can read it. It's there. Now,
Tyler wrote this.
If you do the outro, you can't ruin it while I'm doing it.
Before you do your outro, can I close with one statement about women?
Absolutely.
Please. Give me 2 statements about women.
No, I have one.
I'll give you... All right.
An old friend of mine once said, in a conversation about favorite movies, Mel Gibson was a good actor. Another friend said, doesn't he beat his wife? And this guy said, don't we all? Doesn't it?
What? Wait, what?
That's all.
Can you say that again?
Mel Gibson, a friend said, doesn't he beat his wife? And this person in question said, well, don't we all? Yeah.
Why would you say that? What the fuck?
I think
this
they
was
probably
like
meant
4
it.
years ago, but it's just really stuck with me.
They
If
probably
it's-
meant it. So
I'm not
thank you
gonna
for listening.
Anyway!
Make sure
Oh
to
my
follow us on
God.
Instagram at Oddspeed, ODDSPEED, just like it's shown on your thing you're watching or listening or whatever. That's where you're going to get updates about the show, and give us a rating or review on your podcast platform of choice. So that's going to be Spotify or Apple Music or Anchor directly or whatever.
Google.
They got Google?
Google Podcasts.
Google.
It gets posted like 5 hours late, but it's usually on there.
Yeah, or if you're listening on YouTube, like, comment or subscribe.
Hell yeah.
I read it like I was a middle school girl. If you're listening on YouTube, comment or subscribe. But I mean,
Smack that like button with your
comment
forehead.
or subscribe. Last but not least, if you found this entertaining, show it to someone else who might find it entertaining, or someone who would hate it, because that'd be funny to
If
hear
you
about.
hated it, show it to somebody that you
You
hate.
also hate. Spread the hate. We
I
love.
don't know. I remember where I got that from, but I love it.
Yes, we love Tyler. Tyler wrote this, so I'm reading it. I just want to let you guys know I did not write this. We'd love to make more people laugh at how stupid we are and how bad we are at writing outros.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, this episode was sponsored by Maddie Holmes, but that's all I'm going to say because she only paid me $2.
Shout out to Maddie. I love you, Maddie.
Nope, cut that out. Cut that out. Nope,
No,
bye. Have a
leave
good
it
one,
in.
everyone.
Bye.